Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. Today I wanted to talk about a very underrated Rolling Stones album. It'll be turning 50 years old next year, and they are working on an anniversary deluxe set for this album, and it is one of my favorite Stones albums, Rolling Stones Black and Blue. I don't think this album gets a lot of uh, the credit that I think it deserves anyway. Let's talk a little bit about the time. So this was released in 1976. They started recording it in December 1974. Now, Mick Taylor had left the band in 1974. Um, they were short a guitar player. They brought in, they used the sessions for Black and Blue to audition guitar players. Some of those that auditioned: Harvey Mandel, one of my favorite guitar players, Steve Marriott, Peter Frampton, Wayne Perkins, Ronnie Wood, and even Jeff Beck and Rory Gallagher dropped by the sessions to see what was going on. I don't think either of them were that interested in joining the Stones, but they were curious. The only three guitar players out of those five that actually appear in the album are Harvey Mandel, Wayne Perkins, and Ronnie Wood. Now, the plan was to have this album finished by the time the 1975 Tour of Americas started. My history was seeing the Stones live. I saw them in 1972 on the Exile Tour, where Stevie Wonder opened. That's my favorite concert of all time. It was so exciting seeing the Stones because, especially, I don't think they'd played Toronto since 1966. They toured the U.S. in 1969, which resulted in that whole Altamont thing, but they didn't come to Canada on that tour. So this was like huge that they were coming to Toronto, and we lined up all night in front of Maple Leaf Gardens to get tickets from like 4 o'clock the day before till 10 o'clock the next morning to make sure we got tickets. It was a much sought after ticket. Then I saw this Tour of Americas in 1975. I actually saw 3 shows. Um, and Really, I think it was a better show. The Exile show was really like exciting because it was the Stones' first time. But I think this and Mick Taylor, I don't know. It's just hard to say. For some reason, the '75 show seemed really cool to me. For some reason, I really dug it. And Even though he wasn't a permanent member yet, I think they realized from the auditions and also from Ronnie Wood being in the Faces and almost having the same kind of sound as the Stones. He just fit the Stones. I mean, it was the right decision. But for the sake of the tour in 1975, he was not a permanent member of the band as yet. What else do I need to say about this album? Nicky Hopkins and Billy Preston played on the album. I think the album got mixed reviews when it was released. I have this vinyl version, which is my original vinyl. There's the insert. And there is the label. I also have a CD version, which is a weird packaging. It came in this plastic case, but the whole thing came out of here. It says digitally remastered. I picked this up years ago used. I'm not even sure what year these came out, but it was a weird, almost like an envelope style plastic jewel case. Then the cover came in, which is a replica of the album, actually, and even had the insert, the same as the vinyl record. And yeah, so let's just talk about the album. Like I said, one of my favorite Stones albums, probably in top 5. Which songs are on here? The hit, the single was called "Fool to Cry," where Mick does this falsetto kind of soulful voice. I think it reached the top 10, the single. But it starts off with Hot Stuff, which is kind of like a funky disco song. I mean, disco was huge back in that 65 or 75, 76 time. I think that was kind of the era for disco music. And Hot Stuff has that kind of feel, but it's very funky as well. Hand of Fate is the second track, and it's very Stones-like. It just sounds like Rockin' Stones. Cherry Oat Baby is a reggae song, very cool. And one, probably my top 5 Rolling Stones songs is Memory Motel. I just freaking love that song. Amazing. Then side 2, Hey Negrita, another kind of a real funky, raw kind of tune. Melody, which is a song that they featured Billy Preston on. Melody, it was their second name. It's really it's a really cool track. Probably my second favorite track on the album. Then, as I said, Fool to Cry was the single. It's 5 minutes long, pretty long for a single. Again, Mick using this kind of falsetto voice. And then the song ends with Crazy Mama, which, again, is just a classic Stones rock song. Keith Richards played a lot of guitar on this album because they hadn't solidified their spot for the lead guitar player. But I find it very interesting that some of the guys who played on this album, not sure what else I can say about it, but released in 1976. Not sure where it charted. But yeah, Ronnie Wood got the gig, and I think history shows that's the way it should be. He's still a prominent member of the Rolling Stones. Those shows were fantastic to see. And yeah, that's about it. I had interesting thing going on with Amazon. I'm waiting for something to show up so I can tell this story. It's going to be here on Tuesday, so probably Tuesday, Wednesday. I want to talk about Amazon and something that's going on there. And I would love people to see if they're having any of the same issues. It got resolved, but just interesting. Anyway, that's it for Monday. I hope everyone has a great day. We shall see you soon.